man. I'm good.
Are we live?
We are live.
No, we're live. Not. Let me see how I wanna do this. What's the easiest way to see you? Well, this lets me see both chats. All right, let me switch it over. There we go. There we go. All my stuff is unmuted, and cool. All right. I guess we could putz around for a little bit and formally start at about 8:30.
Sounds good to me. You can do that.
All right. Let's see. I need to put this over here so that I can look like I'm actually looking at the screen and look at stuff.
I've got like
so
your
my camera is
your chat up on like the left and mine on the right.
yeah. I gotta move this a little bit. My camera. I've been trying to play with. For whatever reason, this thing sometimes just doesn't. It just starts flashing.
Yeah.
I guess because it's trying to focus, like right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so I've just got to stay like in the middle, or kind of off to the side.
Don't move a muscle.
I've got to stay centered. I can't go over here. It's like, whoa, don't do that. Oh well.
Your pale skin blends in nicely with the white walls.
It's just a shirt there. Yeah, I'm gonna look for one of those. What is it? No copyright. One of those chill stream ones.
Nice.
It's nice to have in the background, right?
Dude, I wish there was some way to like be able to play copyrighted music.
I mean, you can. So you can. The problem is if you try to upload it to like YouTube or you have the video on demand,
you can't do that.
Mutes the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with what we got going on, makes it practically useless.
Yeah. And dude, I even read like in the comments of this no copyright one, some people on YouTube with it have gotten copyrighted. Like, well, that's useless.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I gotta screw with my thing here real quick. There we go.
I also want to get a new webcam that'll clip on the monitor just so I'm not like always slightly looking to the left.
Yeah, I got my second monitor. So my main laptop is like over here.
Yeah.
And then I got a second monitor that's here, and then in the top left corner I've got the camera, which I don't know. I've played with that positioning a little bit to try to make it a little more. I have to make sure not to leave who I'm looking at on the first monitor, because then it's just I'm talking like this.
Yeah.
And I'm not like looking at you.
Right.
So at least this way, it's everything all kind of lines up and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I've got like 2 monitors and then the webcam is right in the middle. So either way I look, I'm like off to the side.
Yeah. Well, if we were more professional, we'd have something a little better. But
yeah,
who
people
knows?
aren't coming here for production quality.
People aren't coming here at all.
I don't know, man. I've got one viewer, and his name is Meditation.
Dude, I hear he's a beast.
Seems like a cool guy.
He's pretty all right.
Meditates like a pro.
I still have in the back of my mind when I finally decide to sell out at the ultimate level. I moved over again. The other problem is like my microphone. I normally would have it sitting like here, except I'm on a plastic table.
Yeah.
So let me know if I'm not coming through like loud or clear or whatever.
Right,
I'm
you're
still
perfect.
not sure what this. Cool, because it's sitting. It's like this far away. Like you can see in the screen. There's a tiny little red light right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the microphone, but I guess it's it picks up about a foot out. But I'd have it sitting like here, and would be, you know, a few inches away. But the problem is that because it's plastic, it would just slowly, like, just bend, and then I'd be talking, and then it would suddenly just fall off the table. And I have to quickly mute my mic so that A, it doesn't, you know, screw with everyone on the call, and B, they don't hear me cursing about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all learning experience.
Trial and error, right?
Yeah, isn't that life? Did you tweet all your friends and shit to,
No.
You also need to move your mouse. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what you got going on, but your mouse is showing up over my face.
Why am I picking up my cursor?
Dude, leave my nose alone.
Sorry, bud.
Mouse is still there. Just stop touching.
Now it's gone.
There you go. just leave it alone. Oh man, I have no idea how to do an intro.
We'll have to write out a script for next time.
Please, like, either one of us is gonna take the time to actually do a script. We're gonna make it
just for the intro.
The intro is the only part that is scripted.
From there on, it's just ad lib.
Everything.
So you want to start a business?
Yeah, I don't know what else intro we'd have. I mean, what are we gonna do? Put this on YouTube? I mean, the only way it's going on YouTube is if we just go ahead and stick this whole stream onto YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I do not anticipate taking the time to edit this, and I'm not willing to pay someone to do it. So this is it. It's live, raw, uncensored.
That was pretty much going to be, like, I want to put some of, like, all my past streams on YouTube, but I'm probably just upload the full footage and not mess around with editing, because it's just a pain, dude.
Yeah, because editing's dumb. Like, who does that?
Yeah. Not gonna do it.
I don't. Yeah. So
I think people appreciate the raw nature of things too.
It's unfiltered. It's not sterile and unfriendly like most accountants that you talk to.
Exactly.
So, you know, damn it. God, that lighting is awful. Just awful. Let me know if I sound a little too quiet though. I'm trying to monitor my noise levels on the on Streamlabs, but
nah, yeah, you're good. At least from what I can tell.
I should probably, while we're doing this, let me listen to this on my phone real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick audio test so I can make sure that the music isn't overpowering. As much as I hate listening to myself. Yeah, it's way too loud. Way too loud. Yeah, it's way too loud. Way.
You just got the music cranking in the background.
How do I... Wish you could control... Like, I want, like, 1% volume. Yeah, fuck the music.
I know. I came close to cutting it out. It's just gonna be so quiet when I do.
I wish I could listen to it. Like, I guess, you know, I could just keep like an earbud going.
Yeah.
Through everything, just to have something. But yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, it's just gonna be just dead quiet. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, it's just gonna. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it at like 5%. Sure. We'll see how 5% works.
Mm-hmm. Maybe someone will come in the chat eventually and let me know if the levels are off. Yeah, your thing is just like flashing, flashing. Now it's good.
Yeah, I gotta stay out from in front of the red. It's like as soon as I like get out of the way or move a little bit, it's
Goes
epileptics
crazy.
are in trouble. Okay, 5% ain't bad. Keeps a little bit of background sound going as we do this. I mean, God knows this isn't
There you go.
formal or anything.
There you go.
Formal or anything. I think ironically, my voice is the only thing that comes through a little quiet because I've got you boosted up to like 200%.
Oh,
And,
gotcha.
yeah.
I think I need to boost you up a little bit.
Yeah, I got through Discord. You're at. I got all of my volume coming out or the audio at 200.
Oh, gotcha. Where did Discord go? All I can see is yours. Dang it.
You gotta hit escape.
Ah.
This is
Did I
just
close
the
the
most.
window?
This is like the most ghetto podcast format ever.
There it is.
Like, I have an idea for how these things will be structured. The problem is it's just us. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, man. It's like, if we are putting this on YouTube eventually, it'll be nice to, I guess, just kind of dialogue between the two of us, but I mean, it really helps when someone is in the chat.
It does. It's just such a struggle on your own. Like, trying to keep things moving. Thank God we got two of us talking. I tell you, man, you try doing the solo streams, and you're just talking for a while, and I start to sympathize with schizophrenics. Because you're just... like, you're making jokes and things for an audience that just doesn't exist.
It's like, oh, I'm
in
so
the hopes,
funny.
In the hopes that one random asshole is going to pop in and, watch the stream.
Stay long enough to even listen to you.
Yeah. And, we all know it's not going to happen, but...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's like, I'll just be sitting there doing the solo stream sometimes and like, I don't know what to talk about.
You start to sound like you've got ADD or Tourette's because you're just like, well, and this is the thing I'm going to do now. And now I am doing the thing. And you're just like, man, he's just retarded.
So what is wrong
he's
with
just
this guy?
sitting there saying, he narrates his own life as it's happening. What kind of idiot does that? I'm sorry, I can't use the R word. That's offensive. I'll just use the other one called Rider. There we go.
You mean peaceful
Keep
protester.
it topical. Yeah. Let's start being like a little protester here. I think when it comes to politics in this, we need to just leave it. We can cut this when we put it on YouTube because this gets rid of the secret. We can say it now because no one's watching.
Mm-hmm.
But just keep it like nobody's gonna be able to know what our affiliations are.
Yeah.
Like one episode it'll be like, man, they're really right wing. And then the next episode, man, they're really left wing.
I feel like that's how a lot of my views are anyways, so it's pretty pretty cut and dry, I guess.
We just hate everyone. I hate everybody. Are you white? I hate you. Are you black? I hate you. Are you male? I hate you. Are you living? Do you have a pulse? I hate you. Are you Dick Cheney who doesn't have a pulse because he's got a heart machine in him? I hate you too.
Yeah, you're okay. He's okay.
Yeah. I hate everybody equally. Unless you're my client, in which case I love you most of all. I love each of my clients most of all.
You're all my favorite children.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you pay me. The amount that you're ranking in the hierarchy is directly correlated to my turnaround time on my invoices. Oh man, I don't know. I guess we could go into like actual content and pretend
Yeah.
that people are asking questions,
Yeah.
and just take it from there. I mean,
Yeah, man.
fuck, I don't know.
That works for me.
Just just go from there because I had the idea. I was talking to that business coaching company today, which besides the fact that I am of the opinion, and thank God they won't see this, that if you're doing business coaching and you don't have an accountant on staff, you're not business coaching. You're you're just not. You're just
What would
just
you even
not.
call
I mean, I'm
that?
not.
That's like, like, God, I don't even know. That's just a life coach.
Yeah, you can life coach all you want, but it just doesn't. No, just no. No. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to make sure that nobody that I ever interact with watches this, because then they're gonna be like, "Wait a minute, he's bad mouthing us." Are you really? It's like, well, once we get the intro call done, I mean, we can still work together. I still think that this thing is stupid, but we can make money together.
Yep.
It's not you that I think it's stupid. I think it's the industry that is stupid. That people will pay for this. That in and of itself is stupid. If you can get people to pay you for it, and by extension, I can get paid for it, that part's not stupid. But a business coach for a lot of this shit that's stupid, because what's the fundamental lesson that we have learned dealing with small business owners, Ryan?
I don't know. What is it?
I was hoping you were going to give an answer.
There's just so many that.
You see, you could have thrown anything out there, and you probably would have been right. Yeah. I was trying to give you an easy ball that was like an underhand pass, and you just kind of stood there and looked at it and were like, "What do I?" Yeah, come on, we're playing softball.
Like Charlie Brown kicking the football,
Yeah, you're like trying to hit a baseball with a tennis racket. It just ain't gonna work. The number
that is kind of
one
the thing, though, man. Like, I don't know. You could almost take a page out of the business coach's playbook. Like, how do they recruit clients? I guess it's more
well,
of
for
just
starters, they got a bigger marketing budget than we do.
True. But like,
so, just marketing in and of itself.
What value, I guess, are they even saying that they bring?
So you know how when we go in and we talk to companies and explain to them how they're screwing things up and how they should be doing things better, and saying things like, maybe you should have a focused marketing message, maybe you should be doing more sales, maybe you should not be employing all these independent contractors to do your sales that are screwing you over because they just want to get paid. Like those kinds of things. Well, that's basically the same thing that this business coaching company does. They're really in the advisory space, which means that in a way they are kind of direct competition, but
I gotcha.
There's God knows there's enough idiot small business owners out there that need advice that honestly there's more than enough to go around.
Yeah. And they're kind of, I guess at that point, just using the new age terminology of business coach rather than advisor.
Financial advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's sexier to be a business coach than it is to be a business consultant or something like that. It's any of those where it's, I'm going to come in and coach you because everybody needs a coach and a mentor. And I saw a thing on LinkedIn that says that companies that don't have mentors fail, blah, 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 and all that stuff. So that's kind of the niche that they've got. I mean, the head guy's been owning businesses for the last 40 years. To his credit, he did say it took him 20 years to figure out how to actually run a business, which is
sounds about right.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
That's why most of them, it's like, I've tried 10 different businesses and they all failed. It's like, I bet I can figure out why. I bet we could take 15 minutes, sit down, go through a ton of questions, and by the end of it, you're going to be pissed at me because I'm going to ask you questions that basically you're going to realize how stupid you were. Sorry.
And in lies our value. Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah, they're big on the advisory just like we do, but they don't go into the accounting or the financials or you know, like they do the processes and all that, but it's still not to the level like that we would do.
Yeah.
You know, like they wouldn't do internal controls or things like that. They would just say you need people handling these things.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah. And I think it plays to different clients too, almost. Like, saying you're a business consultant or, you know, some terminology like that, I think implies that you are more expensive and you deal with bigger things. Where, I mean, smaller clients and businesses could, like, bring you on, you know, but I almost think that saying you're a business coach applies to, like,
it's a
hello.
Kathleen.
Sorry, trying to get a book. Hey, Connor.
Did she just steal your shit?
She took a book off the shelf.
Sorry.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Completely unacceptable.
Women, man.
I tell you, always coming in stealing your books. Parents never warned me about that. Just when you're getting comfortable, boom, here comes another woman. She stole a book off the bookshelf. Damn it.
Why do they always do this? But
Our streams are gonna get playfully misogynistic.
that's why there's no one in here.
Absolutely. Someone's gonna chime in and be like, wow, this is garbage, and then immediately jump out. We'll have like 100 viewers and we'll never once surpass 4 people watching at the same time.
But if I can change those people's lives, that's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Look, what is it? They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And really, the journey of enlightenment is about 1,000 miles long, but it begins with the single step of realizing you're an idiot, but we can fix that. That's it. That is the secret to self-enlightenment, is realizing that all of us are just idiots, and there is so much that we don't know.
Everybody just makes it up as they go along.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know, I know some people, they have that epiphany of everybody's, you know, faking it till they make it.
Yep.
Which is, you know, true to a certain extent. I mean, when we get into our field, we do know our shit. You know, but a lot of it is you gotta just kind of make it up as you go, and everybody's doing that, which is kind of a comforting thing, you know, to know that for the most part, everyone's just trying to make the best decisions that they can. Now, you know, that may sound rosier than it really is. I mean, when I say people are making the best decisions they can, that also means that when they live in their own little world, they do make decisions like they're living in their own little world, which doesn't actually correspond to reality. But we're not going to get into that because neither one of us are therapists, no matter how much my clients try to get me to give them therapy. I did have to tell a woman, you can't call me to vent anymore, or I'm going to start charging you hourly for this.
What a great conversation to have.
Dude, I have to tell you, I do love not actually being an employee, because it just completely changes the dynamic. It is wonderful not being like, oh man, I gotta be nice to the boss. Instead, it's, don't be a fucking asshole to me, you piece of shit. We're working together, you're paying me for this, but I'm not gonna let you sit there and belittle me for whatever.
Look at you, sticking up for yourself.
Because the best part is you can walk away at any time.
Yep.
You just submit a notice in writing and that's it. It's over, it's done, it's not your fucking problem anymore. It's wonderful, and it helps keep me low stress.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess our podcast is So You Want to Start a Business. So Ryan, if you were going to start a business, what would you do?
Oh God. Well, first I would be a CPA in my own firm.
Okay. So step 1 done. You've done that. All right, now what are you going to do? All right. You sure you shouldn't be watching this instead?
I am learning. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I guess the most important part is sales. So if you're going to have a business, you got to go out and get the business.
Sales, much like your blood, is needed for existence. If you don't have sales, or you don't have blood, you
Mhm.
will die. Probably. I'm sure we have scientific ways where you can now survive without blood, but I don't think it's comfortable or long
Preferable.
term. So you need blood sales to survive. Um,
Mhm.
so let's talk sales. Um, Man, you really need to tweet out to your people to to just have this shit on.
So yeah, dude, I will. Like, well, see, that's the thing. Like, using my phone as the webcam, I always forget to do it before I turn on the webcam, and then I have to take it down.
Oh, is
So,
it Twitter or is it text?
most of it's on Instagram.
You've got your computer in front of you.
I can't. I don't think I can do a story. You have to do it on your phone.
That's dumb. See, that's why Instagram is stupid.
Instagram is great. I could tweet though,
Yeah,
but
you could tweet, be a twat about it.
I'm always a twat.
Oh man.
But yeah, sales. One
I'll
thing
give
I
you-
don't have a lot of experience in,
So
aside from going on Upwork.
going on Upwork, submitting some bids, and then that's the end of the cycle.
Yeah.
There. That is your sales cycle.
Or people reaching out
Is-
to me.
Is go on Upwork, submit a bid. Go on Upwork, submit a bid. Go on Upwork, submit a bid. Rinse and repeat. And yeah.
Or yeah, like
So-
conversely, man, like we're kind of on the same hand, I guess. Like another business idea that my dad and I were exploring is a patio building company. So the idea originated from they just moved into a new house and need a patio. And every company they reached out to told them that they had too much work and couldn't come out to build their patio. Which I said, one, is extremely counterintuitive because if you've got somebody asking you for business and your calendar is full, you hire more people to go out
Yeah.
and do the business.
Yeah, but
you don't turn it away.
But that's the accountant standpoint of let's spend money to make money.
True.
Oftentimes it's the viewpoint of, well, this is all I've got, so this is all I can do.
Like your limited capacity.
Right, and then at times you can run into issues of, all right, where do I find the qualified people to go and perform the work?
That's true
Gotta
too.
take time to vet them, which means you do all that shit before you get too busy.
Yeah.
Because once you got too much time going on, you certainly do not have time to go in and hire people to then figure out how to do all the other work that's coming on.
Yeah.
Before you even hit that point, this is part of that, that understanding of, and I'm kind of realizing these episodes are going to be super rambly, and like if we hit bullet points of what we're going to talk about, it's
Yeah.
probably going to make like a unicorn with how we're gonna connect everything.
Hey man, just ideas for next time.
But it's that kind of that planning, right? So you go, all right, I know I can probably do about this amount of work on my own or with my current people, right? If we're
Mhm.
assuming, so we'll use your example for the patio building. Obviously, I mean, I don't know what's involved in building a patio. I built a deck. It took a little while. I hated it. That's why I became a CPA.
Yeah.
But usually you need a couple people to handle that, in order to get everything done. Plus the material involved. You
Yep.
can kind of get an estimate on the amount of time that's going to be needed. Blah blah blah. So you can kind of figure out, all right, I got X amount of people, in X amount of time in a week. I'm willing to do this much, which means I can in any particular period do this amount of patios.
Right.
So you can plan out. You start to plan out. Okay, if I get too much going on, what do I need to do to get more people? And you do
Right.
this when you're not already operating at max capacity.
Yeah.
Because if you're already operating at max and more is coming in, you're just leaving money, on the table.
Exactly.
You're not making as much as you could be. You instead need to make sure you've got these plans of, all right, if I've got other work coming in, who else am I going to reach out and say, hey, can you, handle this work for me? Do
Right.
you have other subcontractors that are lined up where you can then say, hey, I got these jobs I need to get done. Can you handle them? If they can't, then maybe you reach out to some other ones. Maybe you start, I mean, hell, I don't know, maybe you reach out if you got competition, you know, and say, hey, I got some jobs, I want to sub you out. Will you do it for this amount? You
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's kind of the pre-planning that goes into scheduling and then analysis of the company operations is, all right, at what point are we going to run into problems?
Yeah.
You know, what do I need to do ahead of time in order to do, you know, to have all that work taken care of? And that is true for literally any business.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really think there's any business out there that is solely one person. I mean,
Yeah.
really the only times where you don't really have that at play is if you're doing retail, right? Or
Yeah.
involved in selling of goods, right? Where there may be logistical issues in how you're going to move more, where maybe it's not the people that are needed to be looked at. It's, do you need to pony up more capital ahead of time in
Mhm.
order to get more goods on hand to move them? Do you start seeing shortages where people have these things? You know, but it's that same concept is true regardless of the industry, except government, because government's stupid.
Government's just a whole different animal. But yeah, you said something I thought was pretty interesting too. Like, my original idea of this company, when my dad told me this, I was like, well, shit, I'll just go out and hire a couple people to do this work on the weekend. And you know, I kind of started researching like what goes into building a patio, and just for like quality assurance, I guess it's almost something, at least for like the first few, that I would want to be out there for. But then you try to find or train up some employee to manage that for you. But the thing you said I thought was interesting is like you get this work and then you just sub it back out to these other contractors. Like you're selling them this work that they could have done themselves, you know? Or like gone out and found themselves. It's like you're almost like a broker of some sort, you know?
Yeah, what you end up running into in this, I mean, I end up running into this a lot of times when I end up working with other CPAs who have more work coming in than they can handle, is, you know, you make your money on basically telling them, I've got this job I need to get done. I can do it. I can pay you X amount for it. You'll still get to make some money on it, but I'm bringing you this work. So because of that, I get to take that cut off the top. This is my, you know, the amount that I get to collect, make my profit off of, and that's my finder's fee. It's not really a referral when you're subbing the work out, but it's, you know, that's how you make your money, is by having obtained the work and lined everything up and handling logistics, and then they just have to perform. You know, and when you're starting out, you know, when you either sub the work out or you're doing it yourself and you're hiring people, you've got to be there to, you know, oversee everything, to make decisions. You almost, I would say probably almost 100% of the time, unless you're dealing with, there's, you know, certain circumstances where, you know, you can't just go out and sub the workout or have some people go and do it and then not have some sort of check. There's got to be something there to allow for you to know that the work is being performed correctly, especially when you've got new employees, new subcontractors, you know, new installers, new whatever. You know, you got to make sure that they are up to snuff and good to go. And then once they demonstrate that, then you're only going to just hit the ground running. You start sending them work, you know they're going to get it done. You know, it frees up time for you to then basically go out and repeat the process. You find another subcontractor, you find more employees, you go get them trained up so you can throw more work at them, which means as they keep going, eventually you turn that into, all right, they know what's going on. They can train the new people. You're out hustling to get more work. And then 5 years down the road, you suddenly look back and go, well, shit, we just made $1 million.
Exactly. And see, that was like one of my original hesitations, was the fact that I would have to be there. Because obviously you can only be in so many places at so many times. So how do you scale up the business if you have to be at every job site? Which at first is like the problem, I guess, but like once you, like you said, get more trusted or experienced employees that you can send out there, or you know, this
because what ends up happening is, I mean, like we see in construction, is once you hit that point, that's when you actually have supervisors for the jobs, the people that you know can look over that and are going to make sure that the work is being performed, or at the very least, it's a body out there that, I mean, in this day and age, they could take footage, they could take photos, they could live stream it back
Mm.
to you, so that you could check in and see that this work is
That's a
actually
good
being
idea.
performed,
Yeah.
that everything is, going according to plan.
Right.
Um, but those are the ways that it initially scales. Of course, in the beginning, yeah, your time's going to be taken up with, I mean, if I don't know how well versed you in particular are at making patios, but the first couple, I mean, these guys know how to build a patio. That's why you've subbed them out. You're keeping an eye on them because you got a general idea of what's going on, and then you get a better idea as they perform. You see all the bits and pieces that are moving, and then from there you can operate quicker. You build up that rapport. They're going to take care of it. You get supervisors that are just checking in, make sure things are good to go, or you figure out a process with the subs so that when they're done, maybe you're not watching them. You're just having them at the end of the day saying, send me a photo, show me your progress,
Right.
we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And you just kind of take it like that, and then suddenly you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 crews working all over the state.
Yep.
And it just kind of builds from there. Just in the beginning is time intensive on your part until you can scale it and move it up. And
Right.
that is something that that business coaching company that I was talking to, that they talked about, is kind of standardizing a lot of the process to make it scalable.
Yeah.
Which really, most processes, most businesses and things, once you boil them down to their root operations and just cut it down to the bare minimum of things that need to get done, suddenly you've got a checklist or a set of instructions that you can apply to every single job.
Mhm.
You don't need the top performers to do every single job. You just need somebody who's not shit to just get it done.
Right.
And then you know that you say, all right, just do these things. If anything like this happens, report back, and then you can just kind of take it from there.
Yeah. Dude, that
and
is
then suddenly you're
golden.
making millions of dollars.
Yeah, man. But
Which is super easy. I mean, that's it. We've got the secret of making $1 million. That's all we got to do. That's it. You just get a business, get an idea, get sales, and scale it up. That's it.
That's the
Why
process.
are we not millionaires right now?
And see, if I remember correctly on my research, I think it was about $20 of a blended cost per square foot that you can make on a patio. So if somebody wants a 350 square foot patio, that's a $7,000 job if you base it on that price. And it would probably take you a weekend, if not a long day. So my thought was why don't we just, if I do one patio a weekend, then one, that's a great side business. But then how do you take something from a side business to a full-blown business? And that is, I think that gap is kind of what we just talked about, where it all boils down to the core processes or process, and being able to replicate that across multiple, I guess, clients or whatever at the same time.
Yeah. The hardest transition is to go from a side hustle to making it a main hustle, a full-time thing.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with just a side hustle like we've dealt with, right? I mean, we both have done work on the side, along with our full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And the hard part is that transition of realizing how much extra time is involved to get the work to occupy full-time.
Right.
Right? It's fine when it's on the side and you've got your normal day-to-day stuff going on, and you're just kind of waiting for the opportunities to kind of pop up.
Yeah,
right?
you're spending
So maybe
10
it's
hours a week on something.
Yeah, maybe it's once a month you're lucky to get a lead, or once every 6 months, and it just kind of happens, or that kind of thing. But as soon as you try to make that transition from, all right, now I'm going to actively pursue this, now we've gotten into the sales and marketing aspect, and then it's now it's a question of, all right, first you got to get the work, because let's face it doesn't matter how good your processes are, it doesn't matter how well you can deliver, it does not matter anything else. If you do not have that work, it don't matter.
Right.
Then after that, you got to make sure. So number one, get the work. Number two, get paid. You can get paid up front
Get
to
that
then
money.
figure out how to perform the work later. I mean, that's the best. You know,
Yep.
you've got the thing with the patio. You get your deposit to go ahead and
Buy the
start buying the materials, and hopefully you've got an idea of everything that's needed for the patio job.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've gotten paid for it. You've got the work. Now it's time to do it. Point 3.
Yep.
And that cycle will be repeated ad infinitum. Infinitum? Ad infinitum?
I think it's ad infinitum. I don't know, man.
I think I want to say ad infinitum sounds better.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know how to read
Latin
or the like phonetic alphabet or whatever.
Ad infinitum.
It is ad infinitum.
Yeah, ad infinitum. There we go. Learn something new.
Look at you. But yeah, dude, that's some damn golden advice right there. That's going
and
up
if we
on
had
YouTube.
people, if we had people, and I'm sure with this lesson, I mean that really is the core lesson to repeat over and over and over again. I mean, when we, when I'm doing my shit on a day by day basis, that again is the same cycle that repeats. Get the work, get paid, do the work.
Yeah.
And usually if you can get past point number 2, now you're in business. It's amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing how often you can get number 1, and then as soon as you start trying to get paid for it, you run into a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah.
So for example, I've had clients, well, not clients, they weren't potential clients, and I very nearly told them to get bent, but I'm a professional, so I had to say it nicely. That will... Dude, they will call up with a question, right? And in our line of work, with everything we do basically being information based, right? I mean, all of our value is wrapped up in here or through Google.
Yep.
Which then gets repeated through
Still
here
in there
for $150 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go through all the BS out there to know what we're looking for. But I have had people call me up to ask questions regarding not simple things. I mean, I'm giving out some free information. I've given out free information as a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
I told them, I'm going to throw you a freebie here because it's not super involved. Go ahead and, that's it. What you're asking for isn't hard.
Mm-hmm.
I've had things where it's explaining like how tax brackets work. It's like, I'm not going to fight over charging you to explain how a tax bracket works, or why you shouldn't worry about, moving up to another higher tax bracket.
Yeah.
Partly because I kind of view it as a civic service.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, you never know, when that can come back around. It may not ever result in anything, but if one does one day for some crazy job, you never know, man.
But the ones I've had ones where they'll call up, and this is one I had a couple weeks ago, and they actually ended up talking to him in the middle of a workout, which means I was already kind of irritated. And so they had a question on their financials, right? This will be a little accounting lesson that we can then play back for everybody. I'm sure you're going to be able to pick up where this is going, probably somewhere between the halfway and the 3/4 mark and what they wanted to do. The names and details have been redacted to prevent the identity of the accused. Or the guilty. Yeah, to protect the guilty. So this individual, the little bit of backstory was they were looking to sell their company and were reviewing their balance sheet and their P&L. P&L is short for profit and loss. I'm really going to assume that we have people watching that are pretty basic.
Might as well, man.
Also, it's just a good habit to get into as we do this. Eventually, someone will tune in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Usually, I don't fucking know. Anyway, so he or she, the asshole, the asshole called up, and because they had the question that they had was they had made a bunch of debt payments during the year. They paid off a bunch of debt. And they understood that the interest payments showed up on the profit and loss, on the income statement. They were a little confused as to how the actual repayment of the debt would show up on the profit and loss, the payment of
Like
the
the principal?
Yeah. Now, as you and I are aware, but 99.9% of the population is not, when you have a profit and loss for a company, when you pay off debt, it's what we refer to as a balance sheet transaction. Balance sheet is, and I think in the future when we throw some of these words out, we're going to have to explain them basically every time.
And that's
ad
fine.
infinitum. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my new phrase. It's the phrase of the night. So the balance sheet basically lays out all the assets for the company, right? So usually all the cash they've got, all the money that they're due, any expenses that they've prepaid, any buildings, equipment, computers, anything of value that the company holds that isn't transient in nature, right? That it's going to last some. Patents.
Talk accounting
if they-
to me.
Yeah, baby, tell me more about assets.
I love it.
This sweet, soothing sound of asset recital.
And then we've got the other side of the balance sheet.
Yeah, you know, the other side that's no fun, the liabilities. You know, who you owe money to. Like your credit card bills. Or your student loans.
Mm-hmm.
The giant pile of student loans.
And dude, as simple as it
So
is,
many
like,
student loans.
I always love the accounting equation because that just always manages to bring it home for some people, I think. It just makes sense, you know?
It does. You know, assets, the assets of the company are equal to everybody who's laid their fingers into your company,
Mm-hmm.
and then whatever's left over for you.
For you.
You got more debt than you do stuff, well, guess what? You own negative portions of your company. That's
Ouch.
it. That's negative equity in a nutshell. You are so underwater that you owe them more company.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have more company before they'll be satisfied.
And that is a
So-
balance sheet, folks.
That is a balance sheet. So when you pay off debt, principal payments, what you're doing is you're taking cash and you're paying off a loan. That loan shows up in the balance sheet. So you reduce your cash and you get rid of the loan. That's it. It's not an expense. For tax purposes, it doesn't show up as a tax anything. You know, that is it. It just shows up on the balance sheet. Your assets go down, your liabilities go down. That's it.
Yep.
So this individual's question was, well, I paid off all of this debt, and basically he was looking to make an adjustment to the net income for the amount of debt that was paid off, because he was like, well, we made all these payments, but that should have just been a balance sheet thing, so shouldn't that come out of, you know, the net income? Shouldn't that come out of expenses? So the $200,000 in debt that we paid off should come out of the expenses, and you know, then we'd be showing $300,000 in net income.
Nope.
And this is a little bit for you, and that calculation is what I believe those in the public sector call a non-GAAP adjustment.
To say it diplomatically.
Yeah, which isn't, I mean, it's just wrong. What he said
Yeah.
was wrong. It was one of those rare instances where he said, yeah, the accountant told me this, and they're looking for a second opinion, and the second opinion was going to be, the accountant's right, surprisingly.
He's trying to find someone who will do it.
Oh yeah, he's looking for someone to go in and change it. So, and whenever, because I have gotten questions like this on quite a few occasions. And usually I avoid having to answer them by basically saying, I'm going to charge you to answer this question.
Yeah.
Whether you like the answer or not. Because this is one of those where the only time they want to pay is if you give them the answer that they're looking for.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you got a whole bunch of work. He straight up told me, I said, I'll answer this for you, but I'm going to invoice you to answer this question for like a flat rate or whatever. Is that okay? And he kind of blustered around a little bit. And I said, he said, well, if you say, yes, these changes need to be made, we'll move forward and figure out what needs to be done, and you can send the adjustments over and talk to the accountant and blah, blah, blah. He said, I mean, if you say no, well, then it's the same thing my accountant said, and, I don't need to pay to be going in circles.
Right.
And I told him, if I'm going to answer this question, you're going to pay me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, is that okay? And he goes, no, apparently talking to you every minute, you bill for it. So no, that's not okay. I'll find somebody else. Goodbye. To which my response was, all right, have fun.
That's how it works, bud.
So that, and see, that is going from step one is get the work, right? So in this instance, the question was, I need to make adjustments to my financials. So I went, yeah, all right. I mean, I don't know the details of what's involved, but yeah, wouldn't be the first time we've had to go back and backdate some shit on some financials.
Right.
So that's step one, get the work. Step two, get paid for it, which means first, figure out the scope of work and what's needed, and make damn sure that they're going to pay you for it, even if that means getting paid ahead of time. What we do is different from a lot of other services. We're more similar to attorneys in that you pay us, we provide information. Doesn't always work for similar things. I mean, you can't get completely paid up front for contract jobs, but you do get a deposit, blah, 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 blah. There's specifics for every industry. No one really cares. It's not important. But that's step two, get paid. Now, if he had paid and said, I just want a second opinion, and then he paid me, then step three is do the work. In which case, tell him, no, your accountant's right. You're an idiot.
Yep. Yep.
No, you don't add that back in. No, it doesn't show up on your profit and loss. And, that's it. You're done. And then they get pissed that they just paid you like $75 to answer a yes or no question. But, if it was such a trivial matter, they wouldn't have needed to call in the first place.
Exactly.
Anyway.
They wouldn't need the expertise. And it's funny how no one wants to pay you when you're the bearer of bad news. Which is probably 75% of the questions.
Our job. Yeah, that is our job. Can I avoid taxes by doing... No, you can't.
Exactly.
But what if I did... I guarantee you that if you've thought of this, the IRS already has a tax case out there that says, no, you can't. What if I just do loans? No, you can't. No, sorry, you're not that smart. I'm looking for a creative accountant. Really? Go look in prison, because that's where they are.
That's where the creative accountants are. Or soon to be.
Go ahead and, you should call up a little company called, Arthur Anderson. Oh, wait.
Hey, Enron.
That is a reference to the accounting firm that performed the audits of Enron. That accounting firm is no longer around.
It's now defunct.
I think they got bought out by KPMG, judging from all the headlines I see lately.
There are some old partners coming around, starting up Arthur Anderson offices again, though.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're international. Like, there's some in France. I don't know if there's any in the U.S., but they are abroad.
Unfucking believable.
It's like, dude,
man, now I'm down to one viewer.
Just go to another accounting firm. Yeah, I've only got one viewer right now.
Dude, I don't know. I got half a mind to switch this to the just chatting and see what happens.
Might as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'll do it too.
I'm just gonna edit it on Twitch. Little break here to work on our marketing.
Just chatting.
Jesus. Come on, Twitch. Quit. There we go.
After hour number 1.
Well, I mean, this is... I definitely think that probably doing this regularly will be a little bit easier than kind of breaking it up with the video games, because to be honest, I've been thinking about it. I think the video game streaming has been so oversaturated that we do have a niche doing something like this, as opposed to just, like, playing.
Right. And it's a lot easier to talk about it when we're just talking rather than in the middle of a game.
trying to figure out how the logistics of our factory lines are going to work.
Yeah. Plus, it's just nice to sit here, and talk.
It is. It's nice to just kind of sit and, shoot the shit and not have to worry about anything. Oh, man.
Yep. Plus, I enjoy talking about it, so that's nice.
It's a good. It is a good thing that we enjoy the work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the industry that we're in. But
yeah, dude, did you see
where
that
were we?
Apple and Tesla did their stock split today?
I did not. That finally went through.
Yeah. So Apple closed at 130, and I think Tesla's down to, well, they're at like around 500 now instead of like 2,000.
You know who needs to do a goddamn stock split so that I can buy in?
Who?
Chipotle.
I forgot
Like,
how
if
high
there's-
theirs is, man. They are.
Dude,
they're
they're
up
like-
there.
What were they? It's either $1,400 or $1,900 a
Mhm.
share.
It's something crazy.
Like I could go ahead and clean out my Vanguard account and buy like 5 shares of Chipotle.
Yeah. That's what, dude. I bought 6 shares of Apple today.
Nice. Oh yeah,
I
I
made
was
like
meaning
$10.
to do a follow up and be like, hey, did you get back into the market yet? I went ahead and took,
Oh yeah.
because I pulled out about $3,000 in. I'd had about $3,200 sitting in my Vanguard account as just cash available
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know what this year was going to look like.
Oh yeah.
And I left
You
it,
always
so I
need
pulled it
cash.
out of. And it really was one of those lessons where I was like, man, it is expensive to be poor when you need to pull that money out in case work doesn't happen. Because I was
Mhm.
getting a little worried with the stock market tanking.
Yeah.
Should have just left it in there, but whatever. So I ended up putting that money back in and went into a few of the ETFs, like the large cap, the S&P 500, and then the medium cap, with a lot of it being Tesla. And I went and looked. So the bond ETFs that I've still got there,
Yeah.
I've got like a 20% return over the last year.
Okay.
Like it's insane because I was looking at it going, should I pull this money out and maybe pay off one of my loans?
Yeah.
And I went, I could, but the thing is that loan is accruing interest at 5%.
Yeah.
And the money that I would pull out has literally generated a 20% return over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep making the payments and keep letting this
Not worth
ride.
it.
Because as the stock market can tell us, everything's fine. So all-time highs, baby.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Daddy Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Stock market reaching all-time highs, even though over a long enough time period it will always do that.
Yep.
Always. Stocks
It's like,
only
that's
go
kind
up.
of the idea, right?
Yeah, it's like these numbers, much like like those idle games where the numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time. I mean, that's the stock market. Back when the Dow used to be like 6,000,
Yeah.
40 years ago. Now we're up to 20,000. Oh my God, all-time highs. I mean, it's gonna go up regardless.
Yep.
It just does this a little every so often. It's just kind of going, and then got scared, and then all right, we'll go back up.
And then it comes back.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think GameStop has almost recovered to the point that I bought it at.
That was the same for me. I think they've just crept or right around $5 now.
Yeah, I think I bought them when they were at 6. I don't know how the hell I managed to time that, but that was the epitome of buy high, sell low, apparently.
Don't you love it?
I'm still pissed that I didn't buy into them and buy like 50 shares when it was trading at like 250.
Yeah, dude.
Like I literally kick myself on a regular basis for not doing that.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Live and you learn.
This is the you want to start a business podcast, not the let's trade the stock market podcast.
Hey man, if your business grows big enough, you're gonna need investments. So,
But just fucking stop auctions, baby. YOLO that shit. On the company name, so that you can write it off against your business income.
especially Tesla now that it's down to $500 a share. It'll soon be back to $2,000. So,
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's not really down. You just
exactly.
anyway.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Oh.
Somebody's got to go.
God. Yeah, I know. They're peeking in my room.
Chesa Malatesta.
Hey, what's up?
Somebody stick farts in here too.
Yeah, I'm recording. What's up?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Are you very comfortable?
that's why the door's closed.
Very comfortable.
Get. Huh? I was chatting with Ryan. Doing a little podcast thing. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put up a recording, do not enter sign.
Recording in progress.
Yeah. Ah. Apparently the dog's passed out. They're pulling her out. But oh, good news! Did I tell you we're moving in the next month and a half?
Nice. You didn't tell me.
I did. They picked up a ranch in I don't fucking remember where.
Sweet.
But
Man.
the good news is that it's got fiber.
Ooh.
So yeah, and that was they struggled to find a place that had fiber internet.
Really?
Yeah, because once you get rural, because it's not the same being in North Carolina, because with RDU and Raleigh being the whole research thing, the high-speed internet really has spread out from that
It's
area.
like freaking everywhere.
I mean, Michigan does not have the same thing at all. So it's been, I mean, in the cities, you know, I mean, like the townhouse that we're in, we've got fiber internet and all that good stuff. But once you get rural, I mean, there were places where it's like, yeah, it's got high-speed internet of 20 megabit.
Oh my god.
It's like, I kept thinking of Princess Bride. High-speed internet, you keep using that phrase. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It's like, bitch, that won't work my phone.
I mean, we checked, double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked. I called Comcast and was like, hey, I got an address. I want to double check that I can, you know, we can get everything here. And they said,
Yeah.
no, you absolutely can. We're good to go. So that's
Nice.
so thank God. So we'll be probably the next month and a half. We'll be moving into an actual
You can
place. So
stay in the 21st century.
It's a horse ranch.
What?
I mean, they had horses and every stuff. It's about
That's
10
sick.
acres of land. Yeah. Yeah, once we get all moved in and things, I'll invite you up for, you know, summer or whatever. You can come hang out.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll come. Dude, I'll be there.
It's got a lot of room.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They're even like, yeah, it'll be, you know, it's going to be kind of like the family horse ranch from this point forward. So
That's so cool.
You know, they picked it out. It's a good piece of property. It's got a little creek running in the back and all that good stuff.
Nice, man. Well, tell everyone I said congrats.
Thanks.
That's good news.
Like I said, we'll do some sort of celebration if, you know, if the Wuhan prevents, you know, your wedding and all that from happening, or if we end up missing it, then, you know, invite you up for a weekend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring Kathleen or not, it's up to you.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Be a good
babe, I'm
trip.
going up north for the week. See you.
Later.
Later, sucker. But so yeah,
Nice,
so
man.
that's happening. So it'll be because it's a very wide house,
Mm-hmm.
very wide. So I'm gonna helping them build a room above the garage that's totally separate, like literally the opposite end of the house from where everyone else is gonna be.
Yeah.
So it's basically like I'm gonna have my own suite, which is great because I still can't afford my own place.
A little bachelor pad.
And I mean, yeah, pretty much. It'll have room for like multiple people to go and hang out there because
Nice, man.
it is nice.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so it'll be cool to have one little space and
Yeah,
thing.
dude. That's cool.
Yeah,
Exciting
Little-
stuff.
dude, this fucking year, man.
Right?
Like,
Dude, yeah, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary for closing on the house. So we've been in here
Congratulations.
a year. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
so when are you moving out?
The goal is in the next like 4 to 5 years probably. Do a little upgrade.
Nice.
Because, yeah, this place is about 1,900 square feet. So
Yeah, that's a
it's
lot
good
of
for
house.
us too. But, you know, once we kind of get into the future a little bit, probably want something about not twice the size, but, you know, like
You can fit a lot of people in 2,500 square feet, by the
Yeah.
way, because that's what the last place we were at there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it had. It had four bedrooms.
Yeah.
We ended up finishing the upstairs, which added a whole bunch of space. But I mean, we had a couple times it fit 7 people comfortably,
Mm-hmm.
plus
I
like
can
half a
see
dozen
that.
animals.
Yeah, because I mean we've got this is 3 bed, 3 bath, so it's a good size, but
I mean,
the goal is for
3
something
baths
just a
is
little
pretty,
bigger.
pretty good. Of course, by the time you hit that point, you get to start considering school districts.
Yeah, that's the thing too, which is why we don't want to stay in this house long term.
Mhm.
We've got to move back to the rich people areas.
Yeah, amazing, you got to follow those damn rich people for the good schools.
So I got to start making some money,
Yeah. Well,
which
you
is
know, we're
why
working on it.
I
That's-
want to
that's
start a
what this is, right?
business.
But yeah, little aside.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? We were rambling, and then we
Oh.
rambled some more,
We
and
left off talking about. Oh, what were we talking about?
I know we talked about the stock market. God, what else? I remember we were talking about the three rules there, or whatever
Yeah.
you wanna call it, and
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we left off.
yeah.
Because we went into the
3
balance
rules to
sheet
get
and everything
started.
for a little
Get
bit.
the work, get paid, do the work.
Yeah.
If you just keep that mantra in mind, it'll get you through through the first little bit.
Yep.
I wonder if it would be. I mean, we could probably dedicate an entire episode to just ranting. At least I could rant. You'd be there to kind of temper things. I can rant about startups and the whole startup mentality and how they burn through everyone else's fucking money because they're all run by idiots. Like I could rant about there was a network error. What? Not my network error.
I didn't see anything.
I'm just having to refresh your stream. That's weird.
That's weird. Yeah, because mine's good.
Alright, let me. Yeah, I'll lower the quality on my. Oh, just. I can't. I forgot. I'm not a partner, so you can't manually change shit. But whatever.
Screw you, Twitch.
Fucking Twitch showing favoritism to their moneymakers. What are they? Capitalist? Disgusting capitalist dogs.
Pigs.
Anyway, back to talking about money. So, because I got some startups as clients,
Yeah.
which are they're good. I'm helping discuss things with them and gently guiding them in the right direction. But
Well, you're not
You know,
a
I mean,
fan of the
it-
startup culture.
in a nutshell, these damn startups are like they don't start with a business idea. They just assume that if people keep giving them money, eventually something will happen.
But if you keep raising cash, then you're good.
I mean,
You just
if
have it
your goal
around.
is to just keep paying yourself and drawing a salary and funding that salary from outside investors who aren't gonna go after your head when the company goes under, then go right ahead. Go keep raising that capital and dealing with them angel gamblers.
They have a name for that. It's
Oh.
called a Ponzi scheme.
No. This is like an upside down pyramid.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a pyramid, not an upside down pyramid. It's a funnel, right? An upside down funnel.
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Because you're trying to funnel from all the investors at the bottom up to that's a pyramid scheme. Shit.
Damn it.
This always happens. But so many of them, they don't understand that you're not for starters, you're not going to be Amazon. I don't even remember how Amazon got started, the specifics of them burning money
Yeah.
over and over. But the thing was they were those early movers moving into a new industry that was untapped, and they could see that,
Yeah.
and it built into what it was. You're almost better basically assuming that's not you.
Oh yeah.
Like, the odds of, like, if that is you, right? If that is you and you have a solid business idea, well, then you'll crush your competition and be fine. The 99.8% of the time where you are not the next Amazon, you are not going to be, the burn money for 10 years to eventually turn a profit, which I do wonder when they say the whole Amazon didn't turn a profit for 10 years. Yeah, okay, what accounting bullshit was in there? That's what I want to know, is they didn't turn money. Okay, yeah, that's cool and all, but as we both know, the statement of cash flows is completely different from your net income.
Oh yeah. It's like,
you
you know
know
they're
they're
making
making
operating
operating
cash flows that whole time.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
not
way.
Well, they were losing money. Did you look at the cash flow statement, or did you just read the headline that said, oh, they've never turned a profit, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, that kind of thing? Because those are two totally different. You know what we should also do? We should also have these episodes where we explain common misconceptions, or people can pull in headlines and be like, I read this thing, what does it really mean?
Dude,
Well, let's go ahead and explain. We'll do our little part here to educate the masses.
And I'll tell you, like,
Because God knows,
the statement of cash flows has to be the most underrated financial statement, especially for new business owners and
you know
small
what?
businesses.
I just say in general, it's just underused by so many. Like,
it's misunderstood.
I had a client I was talking to who, I don't even remember which one it was, which is probably bad. I should probably keep this in mind, but that he said that he basically, all the time he'd been in business, he never really used his statement of cash flows.
Yeah.
It was always the P&L. And it was like, no. Because, like, we'd have these discussions, like, to go back to the earlier point about the asshole who wanted the debt payments taken out of his P&L so that it was better. Those debt payments show up in your statement of cash flows. They are right there.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it explicitly lays out, you paid off X amount in debt.
Yep.
And, so that is, I mean, cash is king for every company, and especially on small businesses where it can be so tricky to figure out, what's going on.
Right.
That to not look at that, to not see where your cash is actually going, and it also depends on which statement of cash flows you're looking at. This is just a CPA gripe here, but dude, I tell you, some of those goddamn formats are just terrible to read.
Oh yeah.
I do truly hate the as I've been trying to use it in like an operational level.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Is it the indirect one where you add everything back? That's the indirect method, right?
The
When you start with
indirect-
net income.
starts with your reconciliation from net income.
Right, so it goes net income, you add back like depreciation, amortization, all that good stuff.
And then you get into your operating cash flows, investing and financing. And that is by far the best version. The direct method is shit.
So the thing is that the problem is that, so the indirect is way easier to put together.
Yeah.
The direct method tends to be more informative for business owners.
I just hate the, like, because that one's with, like, that's like cash flows from customers or, like, all that stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. So you hate it from the context of it is a giant pain in our asses to put it together.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm just getting paid to put together a statement of cash flows, indirect all day
baby.
every day. If I'm trying to explain to a business owner where his money is going, honest to God, the direct method is easier for them to understand.
Yeah.
That's kind of the issue I've run into, is when I've looked over the indirect statement of cash flows. So for example, QuickBooks Online, when you print a statement of cash flows, it prints direct method. QuickBooks Desktop prints the indirect method. And the amazing thing is when I compare those two, the indirect, honest to God, is harder to get a read of what's going on compared to the direct method.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've looked at one, but I don't know. I mean, seeing, like, I guess just maybe it's the categories that are hard to understand. You know, like operating versus what's an investing or a finance activity. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in the context of a business owner, like seeing your let me look it up. Direct method of cash flow. So you've got
This would be a great thing where we should have an option to do like a screen share.
dude. We gotta get the screen share going.
Yeah. We'll get fancier as time goes on, get the different things set up, all that good shit. But for now,
All it's showing me is the indirect method. Weird. Oh yeah, there it is. Cash receipts from customers, cash paid to suppliers, cash paid to employees. And that you are right in that. That is pretty easy to understand. You know, especially like when you're a business owner and you think that is like the main things that you have going on.
yep, that's like I said, putting that together in like for what we do, like I would much rather do an indirect, statement of cash flows. And I mean, this is totally, I don't think anyone's listening to this, but this is beyond anything they're dealing with. But it's far easier to put together an indirect method, but to explicitly list out cash from customers, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. When you show that to the business owner, they go, "Oh, okay, this is what's going on."
Yeah.
And it's amazing that none of them ever actually look at the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like I guess like if you don't have that background, you look at it and it's pretty intimidating, and you're like, "What the fuck is this? This is useless."
Which honestly, I mean, in my opinion, is when you're really looking at it, it's the easiest one to understand. Where did my cash come from? Where did it go?
Yeah.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Because I mean, if you're strictly looking at the P&L, dude, you could be making revenue all day but not have any cash.
Right. I mean, if you're spending money paying down debt or buying equipment or all that good stuff, you're gonna be like, I made $100,000. Why is there no money in the checking account? It's like, well, also what I like is that it shows equity transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So when they pull money out, it'll be like, why don't we have any money left? And it's like, well, because you kept pulling out $30,000 for your own personal draw every single month. For whatever reason, your tax accountant told you it was a good idea, which usually when tax accountants get involved, it's never a good idea.
Good advice, other than tax situations.
They're great at tax work. They need to stay away from financials. But, so it's amazing how underused it is. It's like, I don't understand why it says I'm making all this money and I don't know where it's going. And it's like, well, here's the thing that tells you where all your money's going. We should probably look at that. And I've had clients go, oh, like a little light bulb went off, and suddenly they got a better idea of what's here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't fault them though, because if you don't know what a statement of cash flows is, or that it even is a thing, then why would you go out of your way to look for it?
Right.
And that's why because we talked about the 3 main steps, right? The first thing you need to do to get started: get the work, get paid, do the work. Like step 6 or 7 is probably hire a good CPA.
Yep.
Don't wait until the end after you've taken a bomb to your records and you don't know what's going on. And you're like, I need to get this cleaned up. Well, that'll be, $4,000 to get your shit cleaned up because you've just blown it up over the last year.
And it may even be too late before you get to that point too,
Yeah, you get to tax time and you're like, I don't know what's going on or whether I'm making any money or any of that stuff. And it's like, just skip it ahead, pick one up at the beginning, pick one of us up. Right here, we're right here. It'll be great. We'll set you on the right path. But it's just really, I do think at its core, and it's not like we've talked about not trying to sell our work, make it out to be so great, but what is that statistic that only 1 out of every 10 small businesses is actually going to make it past the 5-year mark or something like that?
It's something
and ultimately it's because most business owners don't actually know how to run a business.
Yeah.
They know how to wash dogs or how to build a patio. They can go out and just do these jobs, but then as soon as you try to turn it into a business, like, well, you're not really doing the work anymore. Now it's, how do you manage your cash? How do you make sure your people get paid? How do you make sure that, you know, your vendors stay happy, but you're not having to pay them immediately? How do you go out and get more work? How do you do marketing? How do you do this? How do you do that? How you set up blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I just know how to, you know, do patios.
Yeah,
And 3 years down the line, they've gone bankrupt. You know, they're getting sued because they can't settle their debts. And there we go.
Yeah.
It's like, just if you'd get somebody from the beginning to help you with that aspect, you'd be good to go.
Yeah.
Or you can do what everybody else does and fuck it up 10 or 20 times before you get a clue.
Yeah, man. And kind of a cheesy example, but I mean, that's like why I love watching Shark Tank. You know, it's like you see all these people come in with that exact situation. It's they ask them, why are you here? And most of them say, I don't really, for lack of better words, like I don't really know what to do aside from my idea. You know, like I don't know how to run this business.
I'm an ideas guy. I'm not a, you know, business guy. Or the one I love that I see all the time is I'm a creative type. I'm not really one of these business types.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
Not
it's
a numbers
amazing how
guy.
that apparently is the reason why these creative types apparently always starve to death, because they can't figure out how to, you know, market or do whatever. They're like, I'm gonna do these paintings and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and now I can't eat and I'm dying,
Numbers be
and
damned.
curse capitalism for not allowing me to do whatever. And it's like, all right, well, first your paintings are shit, you're shit, and your marketing is shit, and whatever. You just don't appreciate art. I just don't appreciate your art.
The art of accounting.
I beg to differ. Numbers are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm almost out of fucking water.
Gotta stay hydrated, man.
Dude, we end up talking so much that by the end of it, my voice is like gone.
That, like, it's like you just have to drink that much water to talk for 2 hours straight, you know?
I don't know how those stand-up comedians do it.
I don't know.
I mean, they get up there and talk, and you know their voice doesn't go hoarse or any of that, or they give these long speeches. And I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just talking wrong. Maybe I'm using my vocal cords too much.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
We're not voice
coaches.
coaches. We're business coaches.
We're business coaches. We're life coaches. We'll help you reach your goals. Yeah, it's a simple fucking way. Be disciplined. Except that's really fucking hard.
That's the hard part.
You just pay. Yeah. I mean, it's easy. And it's fucking hard. I say that. I mean, I fucking skipped leg day today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna regret it the next time I do it, because it's gonna hurt for the next few days, but it's the price I pay.
You gotta get in there and do it.
With all the running and squats, though, my legs are looking great. like that is probably the only muscle groups on my body that is actually almost photogenic at this point.
Yeah.
Is I'm getting some really nice legs. I could walk around in a thong and just be like, yeah, look at those quads. Look at the definition.
Well,
And
after
then my
that
upper body's
image.
my upper body's in like a sweater or something, because it's like, what about, do you have abs? Nope, because I eat too much Chipotle.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't have a dad bod. I've just got the I'm not willing to be that disciplined on my diet bod.
You gotta
All I
eat,
fucking
man.
do is work,
You gotta eat.
work out, and sometimes I don't want to eat that much.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, in these days you can't complain about not eating that much since everyone's fucking fat. It's like, oh, it must be nice to just eat what you want. It's like, you know, for those of us that don't regularly eat 4,000 calories of food on a daily basis, like, eating that much just starts to suck.
We're
after
slowly
a while.
making our way towards Wally.
Yeah. You know, what is it, 70% of Americans are either overweight or obese.
Mm.
Which, when I go through a lot of the profiles on Hinge, yeah, I see it. Like, I'll have good streaks where I'll be like, all right, she's cute, got what appears to be a personality, we're good to go.
Mhm.
All right, she's cute, but is like the 600 other blondes that I just, something about The Office being the best, they like wine and margaritas, and something about a dog, and really I can't tell them apart anymore. You know, I will say, you know how white people will say that all Asians look the same?
Yeah.
you spend enough time on a dating site and you start to realize that it really doesn't matter. Everybody looks the goddamn same. Like, white people look... Like, I have suddenly realized that there's about... Like, for white women, right? There's like 6, maybe 7 different facial types.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like it. Like, once you become aware of that, you suddenly can look at, like, any woman out there and be like, you're part of that archetype, you're part of that one, you're part of that one. And men are the same way. You can look and be like, oh, you're part of that one. It... Like, we all look the goddamn same. I've literally had him where it's two different women with the same name, but they look just similar enough that I'm going back and forth between the profiles going, this isn't the same person, but like it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. like if I see one more profile about The Office being the greatest TV show ever, or the word margaritas being thrown in there.
That's not wrong either.
These will be our asides. You'll get to get weekly updates on my ventures into the cesspool that is online dating. And you'll just sit there and go,
this will be segment number 2.
You're like, haha, I don't have to do that anymore. I got lucky and somebody swiped on me on Bumble.
Yes, sir.
I hate that the ones that show the most personality are usually the ugliest.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, man.
You've got interest in things that I'd be interested with, and you're a 2 out of 10. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's on
just gotta get lucky.
That counts. Yeah. It's what's on the inside that counts. Like, bitch, I can't see your insides. You know, they're gonna record all this, and we're gonna be in, like, politics or some shit one day, and, like, the attack ad is just gonna be, like, 30 minutes of me ranting. About the fat chicks on dating profiles.
Someone
and, you know, it'll be, like, 30 years down the line. So, you know, the U.S. will be, like, 90% obese at that point, and that'll be it.
So, well, this guy's not fit for president.
Actually, American citizens, I would like to argue that my opponent is quite literally unfit to run, because I don't think he's run in years. You can call me unfit however you want, but only if you are fit enough to say that I am unfit. You fat pieces of shit. I don't hate fat people. I don't care. I'm just not willing to date them.
Hey man, to each his own.
It's like, look, if I'm looking at your profile and I'm starting to get concerned that you weigh more than me and you're 6 inches shorter, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not good. That's definitely not good.
Yeah. Like that. What is it? I do the little clip from The Office that I did appreciate was, what's his face going, would she fit in a canoe? I don't like that you're not answering the question.
What a great show.
Dude, we're either gonna get people that are gonna be interested in the content, or they're literally just gonna tune in waiting for the next rant.
Yeah.
Or they'll tune in out of spite to tell us how we're evil people because we're not part of the fat acceptance movement.
I saw my viewers flip up to 2, but now it's back down to 1, and no one said anything. So.
Yeah, I flipped up at 3 for a moment, but they left. That was at the part where we were talking about the statement of cash flows, which I figured was probably the point someone would chime in. Is it literally the driest,
most boring part?
Yeah.
That no one off the street is going to understand.
Quite literally, we're the only people on the entire Twitch platform that care. Like, that's it.
The 2 out of multiple thousands of people currently streaming that are the only 2 talking about a fucking financial statement.
Why do you guys care so much? Because I can make about $200 in about 30 minutes to do them. That's why I care.
That's a pretty good reason to care.
That's it. That's why I care.
200 reasons to care.
Usually 175 for an income statement.
That's good enough.
You do get a bulk discount though. The more you order at one time, the bigger your savings.
Buying in bulk, baby.
Like, I'm the Costco of financial statements. Oh man,
Yeah.
just sitting here going, yep, I'll be flipping through Hinge again tonight and Bumble. Go through, swipe, much like doing fucking proposals on Upwork. I don't know why I do it, but I still feel compelled.
Hey, you know, that's life.
Eventually, we'll get something to pop on our agency, but here it
Yeah.
goes.
We just got to keep hitting the proposals, you know. I was hoping that healthcare
Dude.
thing would pan out, but apparently that's not. And I saw the delete 64,000 sales transactions one closed. So we didn't get that.
Yeah, it notified me those ones as well, and I went, whatever, fuck them. I do hope that we can turn this into like an advertising thing, so that we'll get clients that'll call up from this.
Yep.
And be like, you guys aren't any different when we talk to you over the phone versus on stream, and it's like that was the fucking point.
Yeah, man, that's the idea.
One of us curses like a sailor, the other one just has jokes that they make every so often, but those jokes are just so on point that it makes the whole thing. You are the quality to my quantity.
That's why it's a good mix.
It's like when you chime in with something, we know that like it's gonna be good. Half the time I open my mouth, it's either gonna be a rant about something, or it's gonna be a joke, or we're gonna sit there and go, yeah, you know what, that wasn't funny. Just wasn't funny.
So,
we should not do that again.
Let's move on. You know. Yeah, man, that's how it goes. You know.
Oh
Two
man, I
different
really wish
styles.
people would pay attention to us.
Yeah, out of
Maybe we just need to do this more
curiosity, I googled just 5. So let's see, we got 5 challenges nobody warns you about when starting a business, and I don't know if I can trust this article or really discuss these points because the third one is fraud.
Which one is it? Is it the Forbes one?
It's an entrepreneur.com article.
What did you Google?
Issues in starting a business.
Issues in starting a business. The 5 most common problems of startups and their solutions. There we go. I like this. We can just pull up articles and talk about those articles.
Yeah,
we
dude.
don't even have to come up with our own content anymore.
That's what I did
I don't
on
think this
the
is
solo
copyright
stream the
infringement.
other day. Just talked about like random shit until people came on. Just Googling articles.
So I love how it's lack of finances is a common problem for startups. No, lack of finances is a common problem for every single business.
No matter how
Everyone.
big.
As a rule of thumb, startups should always find ways of minimizing their costs. And it's not a rule of thumb, just in general. Like, if you don't have to spend more money than you need to, don't fucking spend it. Unless you've got a trade-off that spending the money is going to save you time, allowing you to do other things. But you shouldn't just be spending fucking money for the sake of spending money.
Right.
And that's dumb.
Yeah.
Then again, I say that saying it like it's common sense, and if it was, we wouldn't have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, here's a good
invoice
point.
factoring. I don't agree with that at all.
Finally using accounting software to keep tab on money coming in and out. That's a good point.
Where was that?
That is under it's the last sentence of the solution to lack of finances.
Yeah,
Or-
using an accounting system, actually tracking your shit is a good idea.
Great idea.
We really need to get into the whole blog writing thing and get this stuff out there, because I guarantee you we could write these articles that are like way better than this shit.
Oh god, yeah.
Because these are written by the Philippine temp workers off of Upwork
Oh god,
that
yeah.
have.
$25 for the article.
Whoa! You're what are we paying for premium writing here? $10 maybe. Poor business planning. it's important to carry out research.
Yeah, you know what they
Now, this
say
one I do
about
agree
poor
with.
planning.
This one I do agree with, but it's so hard. Lack of proper marketing strategy. I mean,
That's at least a
one we
little
could
more
talk about.
specific. That's kind of like a subset of poor business planning.
yeah, I mean, part of your poor business plan is the fact that you don't have a marketing strategy. So, of course, no one's finding your things. I mean, we could probably talk. I mean, marketing would make a decent topic. Something
Yeah.
tells me that a lot of these are going to be, going to be an intermix of. We'll have a few topics that we'll end up talking about. We'll kind of
Mhm.
let it flow. Probably end up talking about some of the same things every time.
Dude, I mean, that
Because
falls right
why,
into step number 1, getting the biz, you know?
Yeah, I do like that. The three key points for getting started.
I like it.
That should be our big thing. Is like
It's
no,
just
number
very
one,
straightforward.
get the work. Number 2, get paid.
I really
Don't
like
even
it.
worry about getting the work done yet. Just fucking get paid,
Mm-hmm.
and then figure out how to do the work
And
later.
then worry about
Now-
doing it.
Yeah. Now, of course, number 2, you've got to change blah 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 industry, whatever. But yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. That's kind of like you're in the very beginning stages of starting a business. Like those are the 3 things you need to keep in mind for just trying to get shit off the ground and running. Get the
Mhm.
work, get paid, then do the work. And then from there that goes into everything else. Once you're established, you got regular revenue, your advertising's going, you've got stuff coming in, you can meet your bills. Then you're not as worried about, get the work, get paid, do the work. Then you can maybe move into bigger stuff where it's
Mhm.
get the work, do the work, and then you have to worry about getting paid. But now you're dealing with larger dollar amounts.
Yep.
So, but I had a discussion. I mean, it's amazing how much of this you end up learning just from trying to do your own business.
Uh-huh.
Like there's a ton of these things when I read through these articles. I go, I mean, yeah, they got a fair point because I've had to do the shit on my own, like marketing, right? Like, God knows how many. Like when you're watching Shark Tank and they come up with these ideas, like we have, for your benefit, we have windows that will keep out sharks in case they come out of the water. It's just like, why? Why have you? These windows won't get scratched if shark teeth come in contact with the glass. Which, of course, raises questions like, where did you get that many shark teeth? And I'm fairly certain you committed some animal ethical violations in creating shark teeth proof
Yeah.
glass. But,
Or, dude, like, on the other hand, you get the good ideas and the good businesses in there that have extremely good marketing, which makes it appear way easier than marketing actually is,
Or you've even got average businesses, right? Like businesses that aren't even particularly good at what they do,
Mhm.
but they've got a fantastic marketing message.
Yeah.
Which a fantastic marketing message is literally boils down to one simple thing. And this is because as I've been doing my own marketing and working on developing it and really thinking, how the hell do you do a marketing thing? One question: why should we buy your shit?
Yep.
That is it. That is marketing in its purest form.
Yeah.
Why should we buy your shit? Buy your services. Use your product. Use your whatever. I mean, it all comes down to you've got to communicate clearly and efficiently and cleanly why you.
Yeah.
Like that's it. If you cannot tell your target customers why you, then they're going to go to another competitor.
Yeah.
But we're all familiar with when you go to the supermarket and you're staring at the wall of the goods, right? Like you're trying to buy fucking rice, right? And you've got 50 different kinds of rice in front of you, of just plain rice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're looking and there's so many choices and you stand there and you go, man, I could just get soup. And then you see one where it's, they bargain, whatever. They've got something that catches your attention of, what I want to get. If they don't have that, you end up getting paralyzed by all of these choices,
Yep.
right? If you're looking at 5 different companies that provide plumbing services, right? You're looking at 5 different plumbers and none of them can explain to you why. You go, well, what the hell is the difference between, Joe Schmo A and Joe Schmo B plumbing versus, the guy who's like, I can get your shit taken care of clean and quick and there won't be any problems money back guarantee.
Mhm.
You know, if you're not satisfied, you don't pay, whatever. You know, he's got a clean message. He knows what's going on. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you're all right, I'm gonna go with him.
Yep. And I think
And then
that's
the other
trap,
guys go out
like,
of business, and they end up working for the dude who's got the good marketing
Yeah.
slogan, because
Yeah.
he's got all this work coming in, and you know, and he just eats his competition like not Pac-Man. Any of the ones where like you eat the, what was it? It was like the .io game, Agario, I think.
Oh, I don't
Remember,
know.
you'd like eat the little stuff, you get bigger, then you could eat the other. You never played that?
Maybe dude, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what that's called, but
I thought it was like Agario. Yeah, Agario.
Agario.
Agar.io. Yeah.
But
Yeah, you got the little
dude.
ball, and it just eats other things. That's capitalism.
I think that's the trap a lot of people can fall into, though. Is like, I picture, you know, a CPA marketing themselves. A lot of people would think, okay, I've got all this schooling, all of this work experience, and like all these different industries, but the consumer doesn't really give a shit about like what you've done. They want to know what's in it for them and like what they're getting out of the deal. So all these people like writing proposals like, we've done these clients, or like, I have 30 years of experience on this. It's like, that doesn't really matter, man. Just all anybody wants you to do is appeal to like the objections that they have. Like, what are you giving me? Why do you cost so much?
Yeah,
You know,
you know, you've got to have that. If you're going to charge top dollar, you need to be able to explain why you're top dollar.
yeah,
You know, like, I'm going to be able to clean your shit up with my eyes closed. You're going to pay a lot of money, but it's going to be over quick and clean, and we'll be done, and that'll be it, and it won't be a problem anymore, and you'll be fixed forever, and all your dreams will come true, and your kids will come back, and your wife will stop the divorce proceedings, and things will be great. You know, and then you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll pay you $30,000 to come in and you know, clean my toilet.
mm-hmm. Yep.
You got janitorial services that, you know, they also clean up your soul, right? You know, they got like therapists on board where, you know, the janitors show up to clean your premises, and then the therapist shows up to clean your soul. So, which actually, now that I think about it, that'd be a hell of a thing.
Cleaning up souls.
We're the omnipotent cleaners. We clean up shit and souls. Money back guarantee. You know, but so they do have a point with that article of unclear marketing.
Yeah.
And that's it. Marketing is, you've got to explain why you. That's it. As simple and clean as you can. Why you? My selling point, I'm your best dollar per hour. I mean, I'm pricier than a bookkeeper, or, well, I don't know. Judging from some of the fees I've seen, apparently I'm still under billing. So, you know, we'll figure that out with some of those unlicensed account. Yeah, with those unlicensed accounting firms out there that I wish I can put all of them out of business. Bunch of fucking yahoos.
Crush them.
Seriously, like, they just go off and do stuff. Like, I wish we could report them for doing such shitty work.
Don't you wish?
I mean,
wouldn't it be nice?
Dude, don't you wish they were held to the same standards that we were?
Right.
It's obscene. You know, so it's whatever that message is of, you know, well, I'm your best dollar per hour. I actually had a client who, he is a client now. I'm starting work for him tomorrow, where that line in my bio stuck out to him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not as expensive as 20-year CPAs, but I'm way more experienced than the other ones, and I'm the best dollar per hour you're gonna get. He said, keep that. That is a beautiful message.
That's validation,
like,
man.
It's quick, it's clean, it's coming from the customer telling me it's good to go. I mean, that is, when you have that message, you can then form everything else around it. How you want to then talk about, you know, the competition out there, your other services, your this, your that. It gives you that, much like, you know, diamonds are made by constantly building layer after layer on a little bit of dirt. You've got to start with that tiny little speck of just what it is, and then you build around that. And I just came up with that analogy just right now.
What we're talking about, man. Ad lib.
Dude, spontaneity is beautiful and
I
far
love
more
it.
entertaining to listen to
How great
than
is that?
than not.
Much like the diamonds are formed, out comes
Much
our
like the
marketing
diamonds are
strategy.
formed. Our marketing strategy is actually made of diamonds. We've just given diamonds. Or did I say diamonds? I meant to say pearls. I was thinking of pearl, but I think I said diamond.
Same thing.
Yeah, whatever. It's the same shit. A marketing strategy, you should just give out diamonds and pearls to the people.
What's
They'll
in
be
it
so
for me?
intrigued. Here's a free diamond. Oh, okay, that's cool. Thank you.
That works.
Oh, that's nice. Buy our product. No, I'm gonna go home now. Give me the diamond back then, please. We only have a few.
Out of all those issues, though, that's got to be the best one.
It is.
Lack
What
of
other
proper
common
marketing strategy.
mistakes? Huh. In English, when buying a sofa, on keto, in cataract surgery, in life. Common mistakes cashiers make and common mistakes when building a PC.
At least that one's
Common
like...
mistakes small business owners make.
Common mistakes, sourdough. Skipping market
Eating
research.
Failing to plan, skipping market research, choosing the wrong form of business. Okay. Like,
Kinda.
that one, that's probably a good point, is depending on the business you're going into, right? And most people, when they think of, like, I want to start my own company, have my own business. Oops.
Like,
I muted
yeah, if
myself
you're a
on
sole
accident. I forget
proprietorship
that-
and you
that
get
M-
sued, then yeah, you didn't do it right.
But the thing is that, and I'm gonna re-say what I said because I accidentally muted myself.
Oh yeah.
Is for most small businesses, right? Like, and these are probably the ones that usually when people say, I want to start a business, what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, like for the first probably year, you don't need to go through the legal hoops of setting up an LLC, doing the other tax formations, because depending on the state you're in, like in New York, for example, to set up an LLC is going to cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
Because you've got a lot of them. So, and I just say New York because New York and California are awful for this. They charge so much money.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, California has a franchise tax that they levy on you if you're a company doing business in California and you're a C corp or an S corp. They charge you $800 a year, or like 1% of your revenue or something like that, whichever one is greater. They're assholes. You're paying them at least $800 for the pleasure of doing business in the state.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's if you set up some form of corporate structure, right? So there's a lot of people that'll go, well, I don't want to get sued, and it's like, well, let's talk about the nature of the business that you're going into. You want to sell some shit online. It's going to be real hard for you to get sued in the first year of operations if we're being real.
Mm-hmm.
Like your biggest risk is if you don't pay a fucking vendor.
Yeah.
So long as you're paying your vendors, odds are you're not going to end up getting sued.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can happen, but it's so, your customers and something like that don't really have a route to come in and sue you for that kind of thing. And so you operate as a sole proprietorship for the first year. Figure out whether you can actually get this thing off the ground and running, because you can take that $800 plus the formation money. So you're probably looking at minimum $1,300 in legal and taxes that are going to have to be paid just to do business. That's already an extra $1,300 you're going to have to make just to break even.
Yeah. That's a
Which,
lot
when you're starting out,
of money.
Seriously, it's in general. I mean, $1,300 is a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of shit with $1,300. You do the sole proprietorship instead, and you have to be more careful, but it's easier to get it off the ground. Now.
Oh, for sure.
I I've dealt with some new companies where with what they've got going on, I mean they're at a level of sophistication where it's like, yeah, as soon as you start talking about licensing agreements and holding patents and shit like that, yeah, okay, now we're dealing with something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing more in the big boy space, and I don't mean that to be belittling, but it's, as soon as you start screwing around with patents and copyrights and licensing agreements and stuff like that, you're not your typical small business anymore.
Right.
You're kind of like a large business masquerading as a small one, because it's more complex stuff, and then yeah, you need it. But
Once you got
for
that
most
valuable
people,
stuff, you need that protection, you know?
yeah, I mean, the kinds of people that be listening to this, the ones that are going out and starting these small ones that they talk about being, middle class, that American dream type thing, you're not screwing with the type of stuff where, you've got multiple entities that need to be set up for multiple licensing agreements, so that, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, like we were just talking about, so many small businesses don't even make it, especially through the first year. So if you're putting in your own capital and you don't absolutely have to have some sort of like corporation or whatever, I mean, use that money in the business or save it instead of starting, paying $250-$500 to start an LLC, and then a year from now you shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of them, some of them will do LLCs based in Delaware because everyone wants to stick their shit in Delaware.
Yeah.
And so you've got to, not only do you have to pay to file the paperwork in Delaware, so you got to pay the state of Delaware. Whatever state you live in, you're going to have to pay them money for the pleasure of doing business. You've got to register your company and pay a fee to do business in your home state.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to pay a registered agent in Delaware, which is where the company was made, and then depending on what you got going on, you may have to pay for one in your home state as well. So just to set up one company can run you, $1,000 to $1,500 just to get it going.
Yeah.
Not even to like start doing business, just to literally have the name, when you can instead take that $1,000 and use it to buy product, do marketing, buy material. It's pay people, pay subcontractors. You can use it to actual productive things as opposed to, just blowing it on the corporate formation.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I think it's
here?
a lot, like that's something a lot of people, I think, put too much stock in. People are always talking about like, oh, do I need a LLC, S Corp or whatever? It's like, you get so worked up about it that it's a non-issue for a lot of people at first.
How do I save the most in taxes? Why don't you worry about having your business survive before you start worrying about tax savings?
You got to make money before you pay taxes.
Yeah, like if you're running a loss, you ain't paying anything in taxes if you ain't making money.
Yep.
So, you want to worry about paying taxes, you need to be making money first.
Mm-hmm.
So, do that before you try to how do I minimize my tax burden? Motherfucker, you ain't even making money yet.
Get out of here with that.
You're all like, "Woo, I'm gonna do whatever." It's like, no, you're not. You're not even gonna make it to tax time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even gonna be filing a tax return, because at this rate, you're gonna be out of money in a month. Come on. Waiting too long. So let's see. 15 common small business mistakes. Failing to plan. I mean, you need a plan. You also need the ability to say that plan ain't gonna work. You need an idea. You need some general outline of what you're gonna do, and then you need the ability to figure out one or two steps of what you're gonna do to get towards that general goal.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have business plans are great and all, but for the most part, I mean, you're not going to have a 20-step business outline of everything you're gonna do, right? And then everything is gonna follow that to a T. You'll be lucky to get to step 2 before things start falling apart.
Well, and that's the thing about a plan, is nothing ever goes according to plan. So a lot of the stuff you just have to figure out along the way.
As Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, which, life has a tendency of doing that once you get out there and doing things.
Yeah.
Skipping market research. So really, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think most people have the knowledge and expertise needed to do proper market research.
Yeah.
like, honest to God, when you're starting out, even after you've done a few, like, I really don't think. I mean, I myself would struggle to probably do like genuine market research to figure out the information that would be needed.
Yeah.
And
And it depends
like,
how like complicated you want to get with it, because market research, if you're selling a product, your market research could be going down to the frickin' flea market and one person buys it and like, is that good or bad for what you expected? It's like, there's your market research. You don't have to go out and do a fancy like test group focus study or whatever,
which costs money that you don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I would argue that the best market research you can do is trying to get step 1 of our 3-step how to start a small business process, which is get the work. Your market research is before you've got anything going on. Can you get the goddamn work?
Mm-hmm.
Can you
that
get, if you're
is the
selling
market
a product,
research,
can you get orders placed or people putting in writing, yeah, I'd like 3 of your widgets?
Yeah.
Can you even get enough to where you go, all right, there may be some interest here? That is your market research, is going out and just trying to get orders to come in.
Just validating your idea.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody's willing to do it, and you're like, hey, do you want to buy my thing or whatever, and you can't get anyone to do it, well, congratulations, you did your market research, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I think the idea that they skip market research in the way that this article talks about, of without a well-defined target market, secondary sources like data and focus groups to research and gather the most information, I mean, that is, for most small businesses, that is far outside their budget.
Yeah, and totally unnecessary.
Yeah. If you're going into a business with something that which I argue is probably the best way to get started, is to pick something that you actually know how to do, because guess what? You're going to have to do it. Then you can reason through, who are you trying to reach? What are they looking for? It's kind of that whole put yourself in the shoes of the consumer thing.
Right.
Waiting too long to hire. Now, that one I do agree with. You need to hire before things become a problem, not as they become a problem. Because once things become a problem, you don't have time to sit in and go through the whole hiring process.
Right.
Unless you start going out and do, you get contract help, which it depends on what you got going on. It may be cheaper, maybe less. But I mean, even then, there's a lot of shitty freelancers out there. So
you also don't want to hire too early, though.
True.
But I mean,
it's really what you got to do is,
I would think,
when you start looking at the hiring, is figure out what do you need them to do, and is it going to cost you too much to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the ones when I was talking to this cleaning company that we were doing a pretty big project on them for, some of the things we were talking about is they said, we don't have time to do sales because we're busy doing other stuff, keeping the shop clean, so people are, they come in and clean shop, blah blah blah. And it was like, well, what about hiring some dude at $10 an hour to come in for an hour or two, clean the shop, sweep the floors,
take care of the small shit,
do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you've got another hour or two to either go through and do the work that you've got piling up that you're saying you don't have time for, or you got time to go out and do calls and do sales.
Right.
So that's when the kind of thing where you go, all right, when you start hitting that point to where, and I'm kind of hitting that point a little bit with what I got going on. I've been actually talking to my mom to help me out with some of the data entry jobs that I've got, where they've just got piles of data where the transactions just need to be classified.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if I can get her to handle that, I either don't need to work until midnight, which would be great, or it gives me time to handle the stuff that pays better.
Yep.
Right? Or I can get out and do more sales and do more marketing to try and bring more money in while she's handling all that, or it just helps me churn through the work quicker so that the clients are happier, and maybe I'll get paid more.
Yep.
So it's when you start to hit points like that where, time really is your most precious commodity, of when can you hire to make things easier. And it doesn't have to be full-time positions. I mean, you do part-time, maybe 1099 them, because you just need them to take care of, it's like, just do whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go from there.
Just one thing to help you get through a project or something.
Yeah. Hiring the wrong team.
Yeah, that's related to that's kind of like what I was saying,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it even says that, hiring too quickly.
Again, I would argue that it's not even a small business mistake. It's just a mistake in general. I mean, hiring's always risky. You always always have the risk of the person that you're going to get doing it is not going to pan out. You know,
Even
like,
if
that's
you
why,
vet them and interview them, you know, there's always that
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, I mean that's the part of the risk of doing business with people is you never know who's being truthful and who's not. You never know that the person that you're talking to who was talked all this good shit and then you suddenly find out that they were lying to you the whole time. They don't
Mhm.
actually have a college degree, blah blah blah. But I mean it's just a risk of doing that. I mean that's part of society is just assuming that when you talk to people that they are being relatively truthful.
Right.
You know, so I mean that's a risk you make. My grandfather told me that when he was running, he had a CNC shop,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they would, and he's run other shops. He had his own business. He was running manufacturing for the automotive stuff. You know, I mean, he'd go through and hire 10 people. One of them would be good, and that one would stick around for a while and help take care of things. Eventually, they'd go off and do better things after they learned and trained. But
Yep.
you know, they were around, and you get another good one after hiring another 10 people. So it just takes time and basically repetition, and you're just going to go through them till you find the good ones. Maybe
Yeah.
they stay. I mean, they probably won't. Most companies don't last 50 years, but you know,
Mhm.
let's not get, you know, too far. Let's not put the cart before the horse.
Right.
Not having a website,
Yeah, that's a big one.
that is a big one. Yeah, and you don't need a professionally made website. You just need
I
something.
was gonna say, especially when it's so easy, like at the bare minimum, you can go out and make a website and have a working model in an hour or two, you know?
Or a day. More like a day if you've got no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, and if you really
I'd say
put some
that
time
'cause
into it.
I say that because it took me a day.
Yeah.
It took me a day to put my website together. My website's shit. I had no idea what I was doing. I broke it like 3 times in the process. At one point, I went to
That
update
happens.
it, and then it just 404'd on every page. I was like, "Fuck!" Then I had to go in and figure out how to get my. So I had backups made,
Yeah.
but I had to go in myself and figure out how do I link it up so that it can talk to the database to actually push everything over. So how do I do the secure keys so
Mhm.
that they can talk? And I'm on fucking customer support with my host, my IP hoster,
Yeah.
how you call them, with Bluehost, useless, telling me shit that I already knew,
Bluehost.
saying you need to go do this. It was like, yeah, you're useless. I figured
Yeah.
it out on my own. Thanks for no help. Bye. I was like, well, did you try doing
Thanks,
this?
dick.
I'm going to put you on hold for a couple minutes as I try to research this problem, and they come back like 30 minutes later. Meanwhile, I spent the whole time researching, fixed it right as they got back.
So
Like,
they're just
no.
out Googling like the same shit you just Googled.
Yeah.
Ooh, waiting too long to seek financing. I could go either way on that one, man. There's kind of I guess, like a dichotomy there, you know? Because you
I
don't
think
want
the
to
best
take
one's
on
if
too
you're-
much
if
debt
you-
too early.
Well, I mean, if you anticipate needing that money, I mean, if you have the credit capability to, you know, now if you're a startup or new, it's just going to be harder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how it is. But, you know, if you can, for example, get a line of credit with a bank as opposed to an actual loan where you've
Oh,
got
yeah.
it available, you've got the terms set up, they've said, all right, we'll loan you if you need to up to X amount of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
If you just have that available to meet obligations, that's going to run you better than, you know, trying to get like a formal loan.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so this one I do agree with. It would be, you know, if you could, you don't have to get the loan, but if you can just have those options available, then when the bad times come, you've got it available to draw.
Yeah,
on.
man.
It's kind of
I
like
mean-
having a credit card sitting out there for an emergency.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's like any debt. It's like it can be extremely useful when used under the right circumstances. Just don't run yourself into the ground maxing out your line of credit, you know?
Yeah. You know, when you hit the point where you're maxing out your line of credit, you need to really seriously look at what's going on.
But if you're an inventory heavy business and you need that stuff to fund purchase orders, then yeah, you probably need a line of credit pretty damn soon unless you have cash out the butt, you know?
Yeah.
So-
Underpricing your product or service. Boy, that is the story of our lives. I know I'm underpricing my shit, but it's part of the problem when you're new is you can't charge the
Yeah.
first. Well, it depends. The issue with our industry is because so much of it is based on experience
Mm-hmm.
that when you're new starting out, you straight up can't charge the price that you'd like to.
Kind of just
You know,
goes
when
with the
we're
territory, you know?
when we're working for the large firm, the normal rate that we were billed out at, we can't really at this point justify that rate yet.
Yeah.
No one's gonna look at what we got going on and go, yeah, all right, I'll pay 150 an hour.
Right.
It's they're willing to do 75, but they're just not. It's not at that point of having the company there, the infrastructure, all that shit. Give it a few years, we'll hit
Unfortunately.
that point,
Yep.
that's not it yet.
Just give it a
I do
little
like-
time.
I do like how they say use your own sales and financial projections, especially with the current day and age that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Any financial projection is literally like it's like reading tea leaves. It's useless.
Yeah, well, I've never seen a financial prediction I didn't like,
Yeah,
No
all
one does a
projection.
bad projection.
Yeah, every projection looks like things are going to constantly get better.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
that's
man.
kind of my one beef with, like you were mentioning earlier, kind of the new startup culture. All these projections that are like, yeah, we're doing like $500,000 this year, so next year we'll do $8 million. It's like,
Whoa,
no company has ever grown that
Obviously-
fast besides
Obviously, they're
going
going to go from doing 500,000 in revenue, even though they spent about another 500,000 more than they brought in, so their cash flows were negative.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go up to 50 million next year. Like it's going to scale. Literally, it's going to double like every week. It's just going to double again and again and again. And by the end of the next year, they're going to be the largest company on the planet.
Oh man.
So they need to go out and get investors to buy in immediately because they need $100 million in order to fund everything. Because otherwise, they're going to run out of money in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a business loan is your only answer.
Hey, we were just talking about that.
There's all sorts of shit out there. Failing to invest in marketing. Again, this goes back into point number 1 of our 3 key points for starting out for small businesses. Get the work.
Market.
The
market,
only way
market.
you're gonna get the work is if they know you exist.
Mm-hmm. Put
If
yourself
you
out
can't
there.
if you can't let them know you exist, literally, no one is gonna give you work, and you are going to die. So, market. Now that doesn't
Ooh.
mean you need to hire a marketing person or a marketing firm and all that, even if it's like you advertise on fucking Craigslist.
Yeah.
I advertise on Craigslist. You advertise on Craigslist. And speaking of which, you had any luck on Craigslist?
I have had zero luck on Craigslist.
That's fine. I haven't either. I had that one financial statement job pop through, and then that's been it.
I only did it in Raleigh though. I never branched out, and I'm still considering it, like Garner or like even the Wilmington area, just for the hell of it. I mean, that'd be $10. It's worth a shot.
I would. It again, you only need one to pop to
Yeah.
have earned a 100-fold return on your money.
Exactly.
Not putting agreements in writing.
Engagement letters. That is vastly important.
Which reminds me, I think I need to get an engagement letter drafted for one. I should probably get this turf company to sign an engagement letter. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
that's usually a good thing.
Uh,
I've always wondered about this though, man. Like, how technical do you need to get with agreements for, like, if you're just a regular freaking business? Like,
If you've got
Like-
so if you're in a retail setting, like you're selling shit online or any sort of product like that, it's not really going to be the same. I mean, people
Yeah.
are going to place orders. You're gonna you're gonna buy the stuff or whatever.
like an
And
order
then
for
you're
50
gonna send it
products is
and-
an order for 50 products,
Yeah, it's more when if you're more service based and you need to make sure things are cleaned out ahead of time. If you've got business partners that are going to be involved,
Mm-hmm.
you absolutely need to make sure that everything's in writing.
Yeah.
Um,
And going back to the patio company as an example, that was one thing I was wondering is like, how would legal costs like factor into this? Because I'm not going to be held liable 10 years down the road if a patio somehow fails, you know, or like
So,
breaks in half. So do I
I
need
mean,
a
that's
lawyer
something you
now?
that's something you'd have to do specific research on.
Yeah.
Usually, it's
Yeah.
you do have to also see. Oftentimes, I think you've got to get. I don't know what's involved. Usually, residential builders, you got to get licensed. Um,
Yeah, the good thing about
there's something.
patios is that as long as the job is under like 10K, you don't have to have a permit or anything. It's something like crazy, like
Oh, that's
easy like
that's
that.
a happy little loophole.
Yeah. Yep. Now, if you get into retaining walls, it gets a little different. But if you're just doing a straight up like simple patio, it's
Hmm.
cut and dry.
Yeah. Yeah, any of those jobs, if you're looking for stuff where there's like a deposit that's going to be placed, or you're dealing with more significant things, shit needs to be in writing.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, you're asking for trouble. And if it's things where ongoing support or liability or stuff like that, then you need an actual contract
Hmm.
ahead of time. Um, I mean, if
Yeah,
it's small
dude.
stuff, I mean, I'll admit I got jobs I do that are small one-offs. No shit's in writing,
Hmm.
But I mean, it's like if someone calls up asking for questions, it's like if I'm going to bill them for that, I don't need a contract ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or, it depending on what they need, if they need a small little, you know, set of financials or whatever that like my name isn't even on, and so you just whip them out and be done.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Just kind of
but
weighing
yeah.
the situation, you know.
Ooh, number 12, ignoring accounting. I mean, this is it. This is this
This is
this one
it.
right here is the reason why basically every company fails, is ignoring the accounting side,
And
because
the
everybody
reason
thinks,
that
oh,
we
accounting's
talk about
boring.
this every week.
Every goddamn week. The reason why we have calls every single week about clients that are screwing shit up, because all accounting is, all accounting is just representing. It's a way to represent in numbers the actual operations of your business,
Hmm.
right? All it does is it represents what you've got going on. So, the only way to make good decisions is to have good data. And when it comes to your business, the only place that good data comes from is having good accounting data, having
Yep.
an accounting system, making sure everything's getting tracked and categorized correctly, blah, 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 blah. Following the accounting and knowing what's going on, so that when you look at your profit and loss, when you look at your balance sheet, when you look at your statement of cash flows, you know that all of these financials that literally tell you how you're doing. I know some of them, there's business owners that go, well, it's in the past. Would I really care? It's like, well, the stock market's in the past, and yet idiots still use that to try to predict the future. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the funny thing is that it's a lot more relevant than it is looking at past performance in the stock market.
Yep.
What did you do last month? What decisions did you make? How did they play out? What needs to be done now? Where did your money go? What different, blob, all
It's
that
like
shit.
anything, you know, what choices have you made and what can you change?
Yeah. Did you
And
spend a whole bunch of money for no return?
yeah,
It all comes from the accounting.
exactly. And I think it makes a pretty good point in here too. It's like where it says, so even if your bookkeeper handles the day to day, you still want to understand the basic accounting concepts. And sourcing it out to us or other CPAs or
Yahoo
bookkeepers, if you're
bookkeepers.
brave enough, like that is not a substitute for understanding the accounting side of the business.
Yeah, we do it for you because we know it's time consuming and a pain in the ass, and if you do it yourself, you're going to screw it up. We get that. That's why we do it. But ultimately, I mean, it's your business. It's your information about your business, about what you are doing, on whether you're making money or not. Ultimately, it is your responsibility. That's why, even in the most stringent of engagements in a damn audit, it is explicitly laid out that the accounting of the company is your responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
not the auditors. It is yours. If there are problems, it is your problem, nobody else's.
Yep.
So, and I mean, and that's why, like CPAs can, and especially the CFOs, right? They can basically go from company to company and do the same thing, right? Like they can bounce from company to company, even in different industries, and help turn them around, because after a certain point, like, you don't need to know how to go out and weld or how to repair trucks or
Mhm.
how to, assemble these jobs or install the electrical on a construction contract. If you know how to handle the money side of it and how things are going and the use of resources, you can run a damn company.
Yep.
I mean, that's it, and that's so much of
Totally.
what we do. And that's why we can have clients in a dozen different industries and help all of them, because fundamentally at the same, like, 98% of businesses are the same.
Right.
And really the accounting that's involved in all small businesses. I mean, you deal with ones that, of course, they got their little quirks of accounting or whatever. Like insurance has a little bit of different things from doing construction and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But at its core, like 95% of it is the same.
Yep.
If you can do accounting for one, you can do accounting for the other ones. And just being a bookkeeper is not doing the accounting.
Nope.
Just managing shit as it happens is not doing accounting. And I would argue there's a lot of unlicensed accountants that can't do accounting,
Oh yeah.
right? To understand the relations between everything. God knows we've seen it firsthand.
Well, it's like you can choose a bucket for something to fall in pretty easily. Like, yeah, this was a food expense. This was a meal, but the larger picture of where does this fall into your business plan and how is this making you money or
Why are
breaking
your
you?
meals and entertainment 10% of your revenue? Stop eating out. Why the hell are you spending so much money on Chipotle? Is a question that I ask myself on a regular basis, and then the other side of me goes, fuck you, it tastes good.
The little devil on your
Worked too hard to
shoulder.
not even a devil on my shoulder. It's just me going, I worked too hard to not enjoy this.
It's just so good.
It is so good.
But yeah, good
Started
point. I'm
getting
glad
the-
they threw this in here.
Hmm?
I'm glad they threw this point in here because that was a really
I
good
did.
one.
All right, that just made me respect Fundera a
Yeah.
little bit more. Too small of a niche or too broad? Yeah, I mean, please, when you're starting out, especially if you're new, you have no idea how to pick a niche.
Yeah.
Just, again, point number one, get the work. That's
Yeah.
it. Get the work.
And it's
Whatever
like
you
you
gotta
can
do,
have
get
a
the work.
broad idea of it, of what you want to go into and try to like target that, but it's just like everything else we've been talking about. You kind of just have to figure it out as you go. Like look at what's working and adjust from there.
Like point 14, trying to avoid legal jargon. You know the easiest way to get attorneys involved is to avoid trying to use them. I mean, some
Yeah.
of it, yeah, we deal with like S corp and other stuff. If it's like at the very least, get advice on things. Partner with a CPA who can assist with some of that, and with some of it, you partner with a corporate attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So, they help take care of that part. But they do exist for a reason. As much as sometimes I hate having to deal with them, or the fact that they'll bill you just for breathing in their general direction. But you have to.
I wish we could do that.
I mean, we could. They're just for whatever reason, people aren't as willing to pay us to breathe in our direction as they are willing to pay attorneys.
No.
We need to be the change we want to see in the world.
This last one is great. Number 15. Not listening to advice. Especially from your CPAs.
Yeah, impartial sources like potential customers, investors, or lenders. Well, lenders a lot of times are idiots, especially investors, especially startup investors. Startup investors is just a fancy name for degenerate gamblers. So I argue that oftentimes they are not a good source because they just want you to get big and then sell out so that they can get paid.
Yeah. Kind of the same with your lenders. Like, don't listen to your lenders on how to run your business because all they care about is getting paid, getting their money back.
So good job, Rieva Lasansky. For number 12.
She has over 30 years of experience. And it shows because
Yeah,
this was a
so?
well-written article.
Oh yeah, 40 years of experience. Yeah, so I'm currently in the midst of telling somebody who's got 40 years of experience he doesn't know what he's doing. So stupidity is, oftentimes doesn't go away with time. Bad habits just kind of become
More
cemented.
entrenched. Yeah.
But whatever, keeps us in business.
Yeah, man. Man,
That's
that
all
was
I
good.
got. We're coming up on 2.5 hours.
I know this was very good.
If only we had people watching.
Well, we just gotta keep at
I did
it
have a couple.
next time.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and the Rome podcast was not built in a day.
I'll actually remember to put it out on Instagram and everywhere before we do it next time.
Yeah, that would help. I mean, it'd help boost you up, and then from there, maybe one person will bleed over, but who cares?
Hey, whatever we can get, man.
Yeah, we'll just go from there.
That's fun though.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the stream. This is it.
All right. Thanks for the nobody who watched this.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you to the people who quickly tuned in when this is boring and left. Thank you.
We love you. Good night.